So as we were seeing yesterday, that Bhagavan was mentioning that this body, idam shariram, is said to be the Kshetra. And the one who knows it is said to be the Kshetrajna. Kshetra means the field. Kshetrajna means the knower of the field. Now, the knower of the field transpires in two ways. One is swabhavika, naturally. When one has an identification or identifies with the Kshetra, then one naturally feels one with it, but at the same time knows that I am different from the Kshetra. So that is why he says, I am not well. Then he is identified with it. He is identified with the Kshetra, the body. And then sometimes he says, I have a body. So there he knows it separately, that he is distinct from the body. So both of these understanding is naturally and inherently present within him. Now the question arises as to what and who is the real Kshetrajna, the knower. Who is he? Even though the one who is different and distinct from the body is said to be the Kshetrajna, the knower of the field, nevertheless, we do not perceive it. We do not perceive it differently apart from the conglomeration of the body. So the Kshetrajna is only known along with or with reference to the body. There is no Kshetrajna known something different and distinct from the body. That is not understood. So only in association with this that it is known. So therefore, because we don't see it, we don't see it as different. Only in association with this body do we know the Kshetrajna, the knower of the field. So therefore, as it is the case, then we may ask a question, who is the Kshetrajna? Who is the real Kshetrajna? As we don't see it now. So there a question arises, the knower of the field, because here the whole idea is to arrive at the understanding of this Kshetrajna, the knower of the field. So is the knower the body, deha, one, the body, deha, two, the indriyas, the sense organs, three, is it the prana or the breath? Four, is it the mind? Five, is it the buddhi, the intellect? Sixth, is it the ahankara, the ego sense? So ego sense. Or is it something which is a samudaya of all of these? The samudaya means an aggregate of all these six factors put together. Is it the aggregate of that? So for which it is said that of course it is not the first, the body is of course not the knower. It is very clear. It's very, very clear. And because the body is inert, it's very clear that it cannot be the knower. Then of course, is it the indriyas, the sense organs, 2. So it cannot be also the sense organs, because I have a habit of saying, everyone has a habit of saying, my senses are sharp, my sight is weak. So that means so the sense organs are also not. This is second. Then is it the prana? So is it the prana or that is the breath? But when you go to sleep, the breath does not know. When you go, but you are alive. You are alive. No one ever says that he is dead in sleep. He is alive. But the breath does not know it. So of course it is not the breath. Then mano, is it the mind? No, it is not the mind too, because you often say, so the mind, buddhi, ahankara, none of the 3 you are, because you say that my mind, my intellect, my ego, I have a big ego or a small ego, whatever it is. So none of these are there. So if none of this is there, then what about their aggregate put together? Their aggregate put together. The whole of the structure put together, is it the knower? Is it the knower? Then independently, if they are not, how can the aggregate put together be the knower? That too is not possible. So the individual things are the things in the house. The household items put together, which are inert in character, cannot become suddenly, the total aggregate of that cannot all of a sudden become live. Cannot become live. It's because they are constituted of the inert substances. So therefore it's not the aggregate called the body also. So none of this is there. Then if that is the case, then there is an interesting conclusion. And what is that interesting conclusion? That which is known is jada. Anything which is known is jada, is inert. Is inert. So all these things which are known by you, they are all inert in nature. The mind, the intellect, ahankara, and the aggregate called the body also. They are all inert in nature. Then, what about X knowing Y? X is knowing Y. Then it is said, X only knows the body of the Y. He does not know the Y. He only knows the body of the Y. He does not know. Similarly also, the Y also only knows the body of the X. So they mutually cancel each other out. So therefore, now we come to another conclusion. So one is anything which is known, the first conclusion was anything which is known is jada or inert. Now, the one who knows the body, etc., of course has to be different from the body. Dehater jnata, dehadipyo binna eva chaye, bhavati. So the one who knows the body, of course, has to be different and distinct from the body. As a second conclusion. One who knows it has to be separate and distinct from this body. Now, so therefore the knower who knows the Kshetra and who knows which is the Kshetra is the Anatman, the non-self, and who knows the Dharma of the non-self, the non-dharmas, and the avastha, the states also, the states also, so the one who knows the various states also, the 3 states, the waking state, sleeping state, and dream state. So therefore, that jnata, that knower, Kshetrajna, is of course different from this. Is different from this. So therefore, it is now clearly concluded. There's a conclusion here. And that is, the one who knows the Kshetra, of course, one who knows the Kshetra as idam shariram. Idam shariram Kshetram. Edatyo veti. Sa Kshetrajna. So one who knows idam shariram, that this idam shariram, one who knows this body as the Kshetra, is of course the Kshetrajna, and he is different. He is different. But who the Kshetrajna is not yet clear. It's not yet clear. But even though that being the case, there is no Kshetrajna who is known, who is distinct from the Kshetra. The Kshetrajna who is distinct from the Kshetra is not known by us. Is not known. So the whole idea is to arrive at this Kshetrajna. Who and where it is. Who and where it is. To discover this. Now if that be the case, then is it contended, since you are not able to so far discover the Kshetrajna, then could you say that, well, since you have not discovered him, could you say that neither the Kshetra exists nor the Kshetrajna exists? Neither is there a Kshetra nor the Kshetrajna? No, that we can't say. That we can't say. Because a Kshetra,
we see it.
We see it. The Kshetra is very much there. Is very much there. So if the Kshetra is very much there, then of course the Kshetrajna also should be there. If the Kshetrajna was not there, you would not know the Kshetra. You would not know. So therefore there has to be a Kshetrajna to know the Kshetra. Since we are experiencing the Kshetra. Now, it is like saying, so therefore, in the absence of the Kshetrajna, what would happen is, all the drishya padartha, everything that you see, becomes non-existent. Becomes non-existent. Just like what? Just like the Surya. If you don't have the Surya Prakash, the sun and his sun, the entire universe would be dark. There would not be a universe. Now there is a great mystery there. It is the Surya which lights up the entire universe. So also, it is a Kshetrajna which lights up the entire Kshetra. That is a great mystery. The Kshetrajna lights up the entire Kshetra, the field, the universe. The field is the universe. The field is the universe. Not only the body, but the outside field is also Kshetra. So it lights up. Without which, you would not know that it's darkness. You won't see anything. So therefore, it seems as if this Kshetrajna permeate and envelope all that is inside and all that is outside. It's remarkable. Kshetrajna, that is why you're able to see all these things. So drishya jatam bahir antarvyapya idam sarvam bhasyate. It manifests all of this. Within you, in your mind, which is also your field, your mind field. This is the Prithvi, the outside field. So both of this is pervaded and permeated by the Kshetrajna and lights it up and makes it manifest to you. That's a great secret. But the question arises, where does the universe exist then? Just like the sun lights up the whole universe, makes it manifest. So also, it is a Kshetrajna which lights up the whole universe. Kshetrajna. Therefore, we could say that in the absence of this Kshetrajna, then what happens? So abhava prasangat. If we don't accept it, then we cannot also say that I exist. But we all know that I exist. Each one knows that I am. So therefore, I exist as the Kshetrajna. I exist. But how, in what manner is not yet very clear to me. Then you may turn around and ask, if that is the case, why not Chidabhasa? Chidabhasa lights up everything. Chidabhasa is the reflected consciousness. Whenever you see something with the mind, so along with the mind, you have the Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa is that consciousness. There shall be used the word Chidabhasa, means the human consciousness. To put it in simple English terminology, it is the human consciousness. With this human consciousness or awareness, you are able to see and recognize things. You're recognizing when you see a pot, you know this is a pot. When you see a house, you know that this is a house. When you see a sky, every time you see something, you're able to say, you're able to recognize and say, this is a sky, this is the house, this is a pot, etc. You're able to say this. So therefore, why do we need a Kshetrajna? This Chidabhasa, which is this human consciousness, is sufficient. But this human consciousness, unfortunately, only transpires whenever the mind breaks into a vritti. When the mind breaks into a modification, vritti means a mind modification. So when you see a pot, it is a pot modification. The mind has modified itself into a vritti or a mind form called the pot. The next time it sees the tree, so it sees the form of the tree. So at that time, the mind has synchronized or formed into a modification called the tree. So every time this happens, there is a recognition which takes place, called the pot, the tree, the sky, the mountain, etc. But this recognition is only possible because of the reflected consciousness called Chidabhasa. So the Chidabhasa is also like the mind or the vritti of the mind, which transpires. Whenever you see something, automatically it transpires. When you don't see anything, it subsides. It subsides. When you see something, instantaneously it arises and comes into production or into existence, and makes you know the reflected consciousness. So that is why whenever you know something particularly, there is a double consciousness functioning. It's more intense. It's more intense. If you keep quiet, there is only a single consciousness, and nobody likes to keep quiet. They are not comfortable keeping quiet. Because when you are keeping quiet, the double consciousness is not there. The reflected consciousness is there. You become more alive, so to say. So when you see a tree, you have become alive with the vision of the tree. When you see the mountain, you become alive with the vision of the mountain. But when you see nothing, there is only a general consciousness, a single consciousness. So therefore, this reflected consciousness, which is called the human consciousness or human awareness, also arises and transpires whenever the mind arises and transpires. When the mind doesn't arise and transpire as a mind, then this consciousness also is not there.
So, sorry, one query.
Yes.
This Chidabhas, is it also a Jad?
Yes. But it is a reflection of the original.
But it comes in Jad category.
Yeah, in the Jad category. So it comes in there. And it disappears. It disappears. It is like a mirror you have the original source of light and the mirror is there and it reflects. Through the reflected light you can see, but that light has no original source. It's only a reflection from the original light. So the mind is also something like a mirror in which this reflected consciousness transpires. So whenever the mind breaks out into the form of a mind modification or becomes a mind, then at that time the reflected consciousness also transpires. And when the mind ceases and stops thinking, you don't know where the mind has gone. Then there is only the pure consciousness there, and there is no reflected consciousness. So that is why people do not easily find it easy to remain quiet, because their sense of existence at that moment is a little less.
They are afraid of being quiet.
They are afraid of being quiet, and it is a little less there now. So it is vague there. It is vague.
स्वामी जी, मैं थोड़ा पूछ लूं? तो शांत होके जब बैठे हैं तब शुद्ध जो कॉन्शियसनेस है वो प्रेजेंट रहेगा
और प्रेजेंट रहेगा।
और जब हम वस्तु को देख रहे हैं, गडाकार मठाकार वृत्ति बन रही है, उस समय उसका कवर कर, उसका ऊपर ये वृत्ति, उसके ऊपर ये वृत्ति आ
ओ वृत्ति आकर और आप इसी वृत्ति के साथ निकल गया,
माइंड जो है उस वृत्ति के साथ
घूम गया।
और ये जो शांत चित्त की वृत्ति थी ये
डिस्टर्ब हो गई, वो पीछे बैकग्राउंड में रह गया, पीछे बैकग्राउंड में है। एंड द ओरिजिनल वृत्ति, द ओरिजिनल कॉन्शियसनेस इज नाउ लाइंग एट द बैकग्राउंड, while whenever the mind breaks out into a thought form, then it is this thought form which becomes visible to you, and the original consciousness remains in the background. You have ceased to become aware of it. You have now become aware of the thought forms, and you have become aware of the thought form because of the presence of the reflected consciousness, which makes it possible for you to become conscious and recognize the new thought, the thought forms which transpire every moment. So whenever the mind modifies itself into an individual thought form, along with that, the reflected consciousness also transpires and you become aware of this. So there is double consciousness at that time. When there are no thought forms, when the mind is totally peaceful and quiet, then at that time only the original pure Shuddha Chaitanya alone is there. So therefore this Chidabhasa is also a modification. It comes and goes. Therefore it is not permanent, it is not eternal, therefore it is not the Kshetrajna. It is also not the Kshetrajna. Then, alright, then what about the consciousness which transpires, which is there in all the three states? In the waking state you have that consciousness which is called Vishwa. The waking state, human consciousness is called Vishwa. And in the dream state there is also a consciousness with which you are able to know, when you have a dream. And in that dream universe, there is a consciousness which knows the dream and is experiencing the dream. Now that is called Tejas. And then when you go to sleep also, There is a consciousness there which is called prajna. All these three are there. But they are not permanent. You slip from one to the other, from one state to the other state. Because if it is permanent, you can't lose it. When you are in the Vishwa state, you lose the Tejasa and Prajna. When you are in the Prajna state, in deep sleep, you lose the other two. When you are in Tejasa, you lose the other two, the waking and the deep sleeps, consciousness. So therefore, none of the three is there, is yours, is the Kshetrajna. So neither the Vishwa, in the waking state, that consciousness, neither the dream consciousness called Tejasa, neither the deep consciousness which is aware of the deep sleep. Because that is, how do you know that in deep sleep there is something there which knows? Because when you wake up from deep sleep, what do you say? What do you say? I slept peacefully, I had a good night's sleep. You say two things. I had a beautiful good night's sleep and I knew nothing. I knew nothing. You say that. When do you say it? Only when you wake up. Only when you wake up. When you are sleeping, you don't say that. You are experiencing. You are experiencing that wonderful sleep. But only when you wake up, you tell this. Now when you wake up, how do you tell this? How do you tell this? What makes you tell this? What makes you know that you had this experience? Because when you wake up, it is a memory. It's a memory, a recollection. A memory or a recollection. Oh, I had a beautiful sleep. Oh, I had, and I knew nothing there. So this is a memory. And a memory is only possible if there was an experience. Without an experience, you can't have this memory. So therefore, you had this experience of bliss in deep sleep and of not knowing anything else. So therefore, none of the three states and their respective consciousness is you. Then the next question arises, then there is one who is aware of all these three. There is one who knows, who says that I was in a waking state, I had a dream, I also had a blissful sleep. So there is one who knows all these three states. That is called the Turiya, the fourth. That is called the Turiya or the fourth. Actually, it is not the fourth, it is the only real, but with reference to these three, it is called the fourth. With reference to these three, but that is the real, and that is the Kshetrajna. That is the one who knows, who never dies, who always exists and who always knows. And we could say that he is the one who is said to be the Sakshi. Sakshi Chaitanya. The Sakshi Chaitanya is knowing the three states, the arising and the disappearance of the three states is known by the Sakshi or the witness consciousness, who is witnessing the three states. He is called the witness because he is witnessing the three states and their respective consciousness. So therefore he is called Sakshi Chaitanya or the witness consciousness. And it is this witness consciousness who is the Kshetrajna, who is the real Kshetrajna. So therefore, this Kshetrajna is your Atma. This Kshetrajna. Then, how do we know, apart from this, that this Sakshi is there, this Sakshi Chaitanya is there? How do we know that? Now, first of all, Sakshi means witness. Huh? So he is witnessing what? When you have a vritti or a thought modification, this witness sees the arising of the vritti. Does he not? Sees the vritti arising or being born. Huh? Being created, being born. And the same Sakshi is also witnessing the end of the vritti, the death of the vritti. Huh? The death of the vritti is also being witnessed. Is also being witnessed. So therefore he is called the Sakshi. Now, the vritti by itself cannot know its own birth and death. See the whole thing. The vritti, before it was born, the vritti didn't exist. Before it arose and was born, it didn't exist. So it cannot know its arising, and the same vritti cannot know its subsequent death. Death too. But there is one who knows the arising or the birth of the vritti and the subsequent death of the vritti, and that who knows is said to be the Sakshi. Said to be the Sakshi. The Sakshi Chaitanya. Now, what do we mean by the Sakshi? Sakshi means witness consciousness. One is only a witness with reference to two factors. When you are a witness only when you don't participate in the proceedings. When two people are fighting with each other, then if you stand aside and watch, you are a witness. If you are participating in it, you are not a witness. So that is one quality. The witness is distinct from the whole incident.
You are not part of the problem.
You are not, in short, the witness is not part of the problem. That's one thing. And then the second thing is, one is, you're witnessing it. You're not participating in the problem. You're not so Sakshi means, witness means udasina. You're udasin, you're detached. Udasin. And also at the same time, you are a witness also. You are a witness also. Now you can say, well, two people are fighting, then what about the post? The lamp post. Is he not a witness? Lamp post. He has no intelligence, so he's not a witness. A jada vastu hai. So therefore the Sakshi is an intelligence. He has got consciousness. So therefore the Sakshi Chaitanya is not part of the problem, is detached from the whole problem and is observing it. Is observing it. That is your Atma, that is the Kshetrajna. That is the. And now, here is a beautiful thing. In between two vrittis, isn't there a silence?
Yes.
There is a silence. One vritti arises, then there is a silence, then another vritti arises. So in between two vrittis, there is a silence. So in your mind also, when you close, in between two mental modifications or two vrittis, vritti means a mental modification. In between two mental modifications, there is a gap there, time gap there, and in the time gap there is silence, and there the witness consciousness is also present there, undisturbed. So between two vrittis, two mental modifications, it is there. Also, when your eyes are open and when you see something, then in between two perceptions, also the witness consciousness is vividly present, undisturbed, uncovered, undisturbed by any other perceptions. So therefore, if you can maintain this gap between two states, two modifications, as long as possible, then you are getting in tune with your Sakshi Chaitanya. You are getting in tune with the Atman. This is the whole secret.
स्वामी जी, ये क्या समाधि की स्थिति हो जाएगी?
Oh yeah, Samadhi. That is the way to enter into Samadhi.
समाधि.
This is the beginning. So now between these two, so between one modification, another modification, another, between all of this, you find this. So you remain in this, between these two modifications, and being totally aware. Being totally aware. Don't lose your awareness. If you lose your awareness, then you get into nidra. You become unaware. So sab cheez nash ho gaya. Everything is lost. So you should not fall asleep. You must be totally aware. Totally aware. This is the way to attain Brahman. ये मार्ग है, ये मार्ग है, method है. This is the way to arrive at the Sakshi Chaitanya. And the way to arrive at is to maintain this awareness, as long as this undisturbed awareness between two modifications, and to be intently aware of it. To be so, awareness, so you got to be, shall we put it this way, aware of awareness. Aware?
मन का लय नहीं होना चाहिए.
नहीं लय होना चाहिए. So without the mind falling asleep and being overpowered by sleep, you must be totally vigilant and aware of the Sakshi. So in short, we can put it this way. You have to witness the witness consciousness. Write it down. That's a very important statement. You have to witness. You have to witness the witness consciousness. Very important. Witness the witness consciousness. Now, when you do this witness the witness consciousness, now you have become aware of Brahman. You have become aware of the Atman. Shall we put it that way? You have become aware of the Atman. And when you become aware of the Atman in this manner, and when you become, now you only become aware, initial stages. When this awareness becomes more and more intense, more and more stronger, when the awareness becomes more focused, then you become absorbed in it. Absorbed. When you become more focused, then you will become more absorbed. And when you become
स्वामी जी, इसमें समय का वो भी ज़्यादा देर तक,
जितना देर तक हो सकता है, as long as you can maintain it.
Actually, this time gap between the formation of two
vrittis,
if it is widened as much as you can,
exactly, that is the whole
secret of
that is the secret of success. You see? So now widen it and become more intense. So when you become more intensely focused, you will become more absorbed in it. When you become more absorbed in it, that is the beginning of samadhi. So the beginning of samadhi means samyak adiyate chittam. The chitta, the mind stuff is well placed there. So that is the beginning of the whole secret of getting into Atman. So when this happens, when you become more focused there, now Atmanishta is taking place. Atmanishta is Brahmanishta. So by this Atmanishta is taking place. So now by this process, what is happening is Lord Krishna is explaining to you, by trying to reveal to you what Kshetrajna is, he is also showing to you in an indirect way how to get into Atmanishta. How to get into Atmanishta. Nevertheless, now that we have arrived at this Sakshi Chaitanya, but still it is not clear and manifest to you about Kshetrajna, the knower of the field. The knower of the field. Why is it so? Why is it still not clear to you? How to begin knowing the knower of the field? Now, all what we have just mentioned, we are going to put it across in another way. Just now we have concluded to mention this, how the Sakshi is, Chaitanya is, but in another way we are going to present it. The point is this: if you say that I know this Kshetrajna, this is the Kshetrajna, this is the Kshetrajna. If you say that this is the Kshetrajna, then does it not also come into the scene of Kshetra? Because it is known. You say this. The moment you say this is the Kshetrajna. So once you say this is the Kshetrajna, then it has become known.
It comes in the category of gay.
It comes in the category of the Kshetra, or that which is known. So then what? Then how to know it? Because it is said, the scriptures also declare, Eko Devaha, the Deva is one, Eko Devaha. Ekameva Sakshi, the Sakshi is one, Ekameva Sakshi. Swayam Prakasha, and it is said Swayam Prakasha. It's self-revealing. It is Swayam Prakasha, self-revealing. Therefore, we can't, so that being the case, we cannot say that this is the Kshetra. No, this is the Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna. Because otherwise it also becomes like the Kshetra, something which is to be known by you. Then how to know the Kshetrajna? How to know it?
How to know the unknown.
How to know the unknown. In short, how to know the unknown Kshetrajna. So that is why the scripture says, Mundaka Upanishad says, the how to know it is being mentioned in the Mundaka Upanishad. What does it say? Na anta prajnam, na bahish prajnam, no ubayata prajnam, na prajna, na prajnam, na prajnanam, prajnam, na anta prajnam, na bahish prajnam, no ubayata prajnam, na prajnanaganam, na prajnam, na aprajnam. Adrishyam, avyavaharyam, agrahyam, alakshanam, achintyam, avipadesham, ekatma pratyasaram, prapancha upashamam, shivam advaitam, chadurtam, manyante sa atma sa vijneyava. Iti. Thus the Mundaka Upanishad says. So what does it mean? Na antaprajnam. It is not the antaprajna which is seen and experienced by you in in the dream state, na antaprajnam. When you close your na antaprajnam, it is not that prajna, that awareness. Na bahish prajnam. No, is it the prajna, that awareness or consciousness which is experienced by you outside, when you in the waking state. No ubayata prajnam, no is a combination of both. No ubayata prajnam. No prajnanaganam. No is it the prajna which is in deep sleep, because there it is total unconsciousness. It is not that too. No simple prajnam, no prajnam. No, it is simple consciousness too. No aprajnam. No is it inert vastu, jada vastu too. No is it a jada vastu too. Then it says adrishyam. Adrishyam, it cannot be seen. No, we were saying you have to witness the witness consciousness, it cannot be seen. Take it? It cannot be adrishyam. It cannot be seen. Avivaharyam. It is not subject to transaction. With the karma indriyas, you can't transact with it. Avivaharyam. Agrahyam. It cannot be grasped by any one of your sense organs. The eyes can grasp the flower, the vision of the flower, it can grasp it. So it agrahyam, your sense organs of jnana indriyas can grasp these things, but it can't grasp it. Agrahyam, alakshanam, it has no lakshana. You can't say what is Brahman. Brahman has no lakshanas. Anything which has got a lakshana, you can indicate it.
Know it.
You can know it, right? Through a lakshana quality. It has no qualities. So, no lakshanam, alakshanam, achintyam, and therefore it is achintyam, it cannot be thought of. Then how to think of the unthinkable? How to contemplate on the unthinkable? This is achintyam. And since it is achintyam, it is avyapadeshya. It cannot be instructed. You can't instruct anything about it too. What is Brahman? That is why when Lord Rama asked Vasishtha, what is God? Vasishtha remained silent. Then the second time also Rama asked, thinking that Vasishtha didn't hear it properly. Second time also he remained silent. Then third time he became a little impatient, Rama, and asked, what is God? So then Vasishtha replied, I am replying to you. You are not comprehending it. So it cannot be revealed. It cannot be said that this is such and such a thing. The closest approximation that you can have towards the understanding of Brahman is neti neti. Neti neti doctrine. Neti neti means na double. Na iti na evam na evam. That's the meaning. Na evam na evam. 2 times. So now what does it mean? Na evam na evam. It is not so, it is not so. So by the first not so, the sthula prapancha, the gross universe, is negated. The gross universe is negated. By the second not so, the subtle universe is negated. The entire subtle universe is negated. After that, what remains is Brahman. So it cannot be directly pinpointed and explained to you. So that is why. So, avipadeshyam. Then, having said this much, avipadeshyam, it cannot be ekatma pratyasara. Eka atma pratyasara. It is of one essence. Ekatma pratyasara. It is of one essence. Like Saindavagana. Like a lump of salt, which is salt everywhere. This Upanishad says this. If you salt at the top, salt at the bottom. If you lick it, salt at the top of a
Heap of salt.
Of a heap of salt, or a rock of salt. They call it rock salt. If you take the rock salt from the top, it is salt. From the bottom, it is all salt. From the side, it is all salt. From everywhere, it is only salt. So, ekatma pratyasara, it is a one essence. It is a one essence. Ekatma pratyasara. And then, prapancha upashamam. It is there where in the entire universe, upashamam. Upashamam means the whole universe subsides. Prapancha upashamam. The whole universe subsides in the Atman. Subsides in the Atman. So you are greater than the universe. Because the universe is going to subside in you. For moksha to take place, first of all, the universe must subside in you. Prapancha upashamam. That is where it subsides in the Atman. Prapancha upashamam. Shivam. It is that which is auspicious. Shivam means auspicious. Then Advaitam. It is one. Advaitam. There is no Dvaita there. No Dvaita. Advaitam. Chadurtam Manyante, and that is called as the fourth. Actually, it is the only state with reference to the other three states, the waking, dream state and the deep sleep state, it is called the fourth because it is the basis of these three. Since it is the basis of these three states, it is called the fourth, but really it is the only state. And Sa Atma, Sa Vijnaya, that is your Atma. That is your Atma. Now, this particular mantra has been stated so that you can practice it. You can practice it. How? Ek Atma Pratyaya Saram. Eka Atma Pratyaya Saram. That means don't allow, do not allow any other modifications to transpire in your mind. In your mind, in your consciousness. In your mind and in your consciousness. Remain serene.
Tranquil state.
It's a tranquil state. Totally tranquil. So when you are remaining totally tranquil, now this is a practice. When you are remaining totally tranquil, then automatically and naturally, Eka Atma Pratyaya Saram is naturally happening. Maintain this tranquil state. Don't allow any other vrittis or modifications to come and disturb it. Huh? Because it is a one essence. One, you may call it one God essence. One God essence. Like the Saindava Ganaha, one God essence. So maintain this state. Then,
Swami, just for a second, non-formation of any vratti, is it what one day you said, anartham adarshanam?
Yes, same thing. Same thing. Then, prapancha upashamam. Prapancha upashamam. That's why it said. That's where the entire prapancha has become shanta ho gaya. Because when the prapancha is vijatiya vritti, one is such, sugata peda, now vijatiya. So universe is vijatiya. Vijatiya, something different. Something different. The universe. The Atman is different. So don't allow any thoughts or feelings of the universe to come. Okay? Any thoughts or feelings of the universe or about the universe. So with respect to the universe, you have become jada. We'll put it that way. ठीक है? वो तो जड़ हो गया बाबा, बेकार आदमी है, उल्टी, इसी का नाम है उल्टा रास्ता, यही है उल्टा रास्ता. So prapancha upashama. So then, so thus maintain this state of awareness in this way, and then this is the practical way to arrive at the Atman. Practical way. We'll see the balance tomorrow. अभी भी पहले श्लोक में है.